You're listening to Linked AM. Tell your story on Linked Live and get noticed.
Good morning, everyone.
You're listening to Carl Wolfenden on the Business Class Show and is not always affiliated with the guests and the topics discussed. Any financial statements are the opinions of the individual, and you should seek professional advice before making any decisions. Upgrade your listening to Business Class, the show that puts you in the big leather comfy seats. So sit back and enjoy our take on the trending business issues of the week.
Howdy, folks. Here he is, the Texas Brit, the guy with the stiff upper lip, filling his 10-gallon hat and his cowboy boots, Carl Wolfenden.
So thank you for joining me again on Linked AM and Linked Live. It seems to be a common theme when we talk about various things, especially on the operations side, about this thing of a CEO or the C-level, the founders, or whatever those senior executives are. They are too close to the business sometimes because they're doing the day-to-day running of that business, and it's very important, you just mentioned, to have somebody outside of the corporation to say, hey, have you thought about this? Why are you doing? You've got to question, because I think corporate governance is making sure that you're on track and you're delivering what you're promising the stakeholders, the shareholders, correct, of what your promise is in terms of the dividend.
Oh, very much so. Very much so. If I was in a business today and we were about to enter a form of a media market, you would know much more about that than I would. It would really behoove me to have someone like yourself with that kind of expertise on my board, whether that's on the fiduciary board or the advisory board, so that I could talk through the market.
So what's the difference? You just talked about two types of boards, so fiduciary and then the advisory board. Is it important to have two boards so that they can, just so that I understand and so that the viewers can understand what the difference is between those two?
Oh, certainly. Well, the fiduciary board has fiduciary responsibilities, and very often, depending upon the structure of the company, whether it's an LLC or a C Corp or privately owned or single owned, the structure of the company really drives what a fiduciary board will be, whether that's nonprofit, for-profit, academic, governmental, etc. In addition to that, some people also have advisory boards. In fact, what we like to do is when someone comes to us and ask us about helping them form a board or broaden it because their board is very small, or maybe it's made up of just family members, if it's a smaller private company, then the first thing we recommend is set up an advisory board. That way you have, as an owner, you have more comfort that this board member is not necessarily in the middle of your fiduciary issues, and yet you can give them all kinds of financial information, you can ask for advice and counsel, and still get all of the benefits, or most of the benefits, as an advisory board. So the difference is really, from a board member standpoint, is legal liability with regard to fiduciary issues. And from the owner's standpoint, it is having someone that could really help dictate the financial aspect of your business, or simply advise it in terms of strategy, marketing, operations, those kinds of things.
That's a great definition. I appreciate you doing that.
We're fixing to be right back after these messages.
Is your company at an inflection point? Most companies will, from time to time, find themselves at some point where exciting new opportunities or challenges force the company leadership to accept that there are some fundamental improvements that must be made before they can even move forward. Frequently, even though the company finds itself with a will and determination to make those necessary improvements, leadership knows they simply don't have the bandwidth internally to tackle these improvements while also keeping the company running and their customers satisfied. This is where the Inflection Point Group can make a real difference. While we offer comprehensive services and subject matter expertise, most clients engage the Inflection Point Group through our 3 key service lines. Growing and scaling, taking your business to the next level. Agreements and negotiations, breaking the barriers to the time and cost constraints of complex agreements. And marketing and digital services, working with you and our strategic partnerships to provide a complete 360 view of your marketing strategy and execution. If you're at that inflection point, we want to talk to you.
Well, welcome back, and that was a great conversation we just had with Don Springer of the Inflection Point Group. As you've heard, we're going to have many more of these. We're going to be talking to team members of the Inflection Point Group who are subject experts in their own right and their own subjects, and also some of their trusted partners. Talking about trusted partners, if you want to get a free white paper to learn more about, and we're calling it the 7 keys to running corporate governance, everything that we just talked about, then just go to our special page that we've set up for the Inflection Point Group. All you need to do is go to partner.businessclassnews.com/infliction. That's nFLXn. And you get more information. It's on the screen now. It's a great little piece of information. And if you want Don to talk to you and chat to you, you can also request a conversation with Don on there. So thanks so much for joining me today on Linked AM and Linked Live. And we've had a really good time. And again, have a great day. And remember, keep conversations going. That's the way to more business.
Visit our website at www.businessclassnews.com.